Now, cement are expensive. I was making mention of some brands on the market that's going for 105 Ghana cedis per bag.
Yeah.
The others are going for 95 Ghana cedis. I made mention, for example, of gravels, and we're talking about 20 cube. That is going for 3,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
We can if you make mention of what they call a sand, double axle going for 2,500. We can talk about blocks that are also needed. How important are these materials for the foundation work? I ask this because there are concerns that some of the artisans, without your presence, will cut down on the amount of cement that they have to use. That will definitely affect the structure when it's completed.
Yes.
And if you're not there and you're the artisan, the mason does a very poor job for you, and some of them will steal your cement but produce empty bags as if they've used the right amount of cement.
You're right.
Say again?
You're right.
Okay. So how do we ensure that we get all these materials right? Even with the iron rods and all that, how do we ensure that we get them right?
Okay. So in there comes the knowledge and skill of whoever is supervising the work. I tend to relate these things to examples that are very relatable, because you have sand, you have chippings, you have iron rods, you have cement. You need water. Even on the cement bags, they write it clearly that too much water will make your concrete poor.
And artisans don't measure; they just pour and mix and pour and mix, and then they pour it on the ground, huh?
Yeah, and they are pouring because they want to be able to work with it in a very fluid state. When it's stiff, it's difficult to work with, to push the wheelbarrow, to compact, to tamp it. So they want something they can work with easily. So we say in technical terms, the workability of concrete. But the more the water, the less the strength.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is that we have ingredients for concrete. That's what we mentioned. But then the knowledge as to how to mix it right is where the difference comes in. It's as practical as taking your fabric to a tailor, showing them a design, and then when you go back, it's a different story. Simply because the person worked to their skill. They also worked to their knowledge. Though they saw, they even had a very practical picture. And after taking your measurement, they'll take your measurement and memorize them and write it down. You'll be surprised. They are very good at that. So the same thing with the artisans. One thing that is very important with foundations is not just about the mix of it, but even as to the depth in the ground where you put it.
Yeah.
Because a site can be, the deeper you go, the stronger the soil. And the opposite is also true. The deeper you go, the weaker the soil. So when they are using what they are meeting as they've dug, they are working according to their knowledge,
according to the experience they've had. So
yes.
In previous years or places they've gone to construct, they did maybe 4 feet.
Yes.
Or 5 feet.
Yes.
So it's standard for them.
Exactly.
Wherever they go to 4 feet, 5 feet, dig, pour the gravels mixed with the cement and water and the sand, put the iron rods there, good to go. But you're saying that is wrong. That
is very wrong.
Wow.
But it's similar to the example you're asking, that I've done the same just on the plots or the sites beside me. Why can't I do the same here? What we are saying is that concrete has strength, but there's a reason why we put in iron rods, to give it more strength, to make it more flexible. And the gain in strength, again, practical, it's like your human body, where the iron rods are your skeletons. So though you have flesh and muscle, the skeletons come to give you immense strength. And that is what iron rods do to concrete. They give it immense strength to be able to carry the weight that is being put on them. Also, the iron rods allow the weight to be able to be directed in a manner that is safe.
Okay.
So that though we are doing a concrete base for our foundation, we are not putting in a mat. We put in a mat to help spread out the weight, spread out the load that the building is being exerted on. So what you find out is that the iron rods is working with the concrete to try and keep you safe.
And if you have